and welcome to Die Rollin for the 5th day of Advent. Last time we were going through the dance floor and had to look under the floorboards to find the code that we needed to get to the next room, which is right here. This time we don't know what's going to happen because I haven't read out the little intro. So without any further ado, let us begin. Still humming joy to the world, you enter the next room and are confronted by machines, conveyor belts and a cogwheel apparatus. You immediately recognise that you are in a building block workshop. Your colleague Ruddy, a good friend of yours, has often brought you to this fascinating area, as he is in the head of this department. Building blocks are produced here in all imaginable shapes and colours. You wouldn't believe how long it's used to have spent carving some of them. You still hear your colleague groan. Until we manage to get to all the rough edges in the right shape, luckily there is now a state-of-art machine here, the pride of the department. You stand admiringly in front of it. The classic Christmas blocks of 1,000 colours and shapes making machine. Patented. Amazing. The left wall is dominated by a spacious shelf in which the building blocks are sorted and stored. You notice that some of the shelves are numbered, but strangely enough, not all of them. Then your eyes fall on the ground, and you understand why. During the earthquake, some of the number cards had fallen off from these shelves. You never really understood the system that colleagues use to arrange blocks here. But then, there is a system. A pretty sophisticated one, in fact. So please turn to open door number 5, and I've got to also turn the page. So in the book, which I probably have to, have to tear out today, so I can actually look at this. So this is is a little building block machine. So that goes in when you put things in, and it does some colours and puts them in the right boxes. So let's figure out, right? So let's start by opening up the door and carry on with this. So let me get out these. So I've got some cards here. So in here we've got Doris Pack, who's part of Doris Pack, who's the Department of Packing. So it's another ID card from one of the other members of those, which we'll keep to one side. And then we've also got like a little code here telling us what we do. So we've got DLE, we've got RID, and then code. So the code goes in this box here. But how does that match up to this? So let's have a look in the room. Maybe the room has some answers. So in the room, we've got like some things. We've got a thing on the wall. But on this wall, on the inner wall here, you can sort of make out a bunch of shapes. So if our shelf is like that, and we've got like a bunch of different items on this shelf, I think our code is a blue hexagon, interestingly enough. But there's also a bunch of other shapes with different numbers on them. So I am intrigued. And then there's riddle, which is the weird moon at the bottom, and then there's a Y, red Y at the top, and then a bunch of other shapes. So we've got 10, 3, 4, 4, 0, 6. So we want to try and find out, I think, riddle, is it riddle code or code riddle? Maybe each of these attribute to one of the codes and we build it up. So we've got riddle and code, okay? So we need to know how to make the Y, the hexagon, and the blue and the yellow moon. So we've got and they're all the different colours, aren't they? So we actually know what the codes are. So let's make a note of what the shapes are so I don't have to keep holding that up for you. So we need to make a blue hexagon. We need to make a yellow moon, I believe. And we also need to make ourselves a red, a red Y. Okay, So in order to make these shapes, we need to try and figure out how to make them in our machines. We start with a random block, and put in our random block, and we need to figure out how it goes in. So we want to put in our... Yeah, so on the other side, we've got our bunches of shapes. So we now need to figure out the shapes on the back to make whatever it is that our code is to go and do our thing. So we start with a shape of a form. So we go and drop it in. We put in, let's try it with the star. It says star 10, and maybe that deals with this number here of some form. So we've got a way of dealing with that. Anyway, so let's try and figure this out. So let's start with our Y, our red Y. So it's red. So our red shape goes in. And it comes out yellow. So we'll take it, let's start with our red Y. So a red Y. We start in, it goes in red, comes out yellow. So it's now a yellow shape. Now we need to know if it's less than 6 or greater than 6. And I think it might be to do with the number of sides. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it has 9 sides. So it's 9. This has 2 and this has 6. So it's yellow. It's now got greater than 6 sides. So it comes into here, stays yellow. Then because it's a Y, it then becomes a plus. Which then has which has more than 6 sides still. Then that becomes blue. And gets put in the box. So blue is a plus. So on our sheet, we now know that our blue should probably be a plus. So we go across here and try and find our plus. So we've got a plus there. And I think that's it. So yeah, let's put our plus in. So our plus is that. So because that's what our shape became. So let's put our next shape in, which is a blue hexagon. So let's start with a blue hexagon. So we put our blue hexagon in. Is it a blue shape? Yes, so it becomes red. Now, does it have greater than 6 sides? Now, we know that the hexagon has 6 sides, so it's greater than or equal to 6. So it goes, yes, okay, we're greater than or equal to 6, so we go and paint it blue. So it was red, and it goes and gets painted blue. Oh no, with a blue hexagon, we got painted to be red, and then we get painted back to be blue. Then, because we're not a changed shape, we're still a hexagon. So we're still greater than sides, so which we become red again, and get put in the box. So red is just a hexagon, which it already is. So it's just a red hexagon. Cool. Final one is our yellow moon, which has 2 sides. So this is going to be a bit different. So our yellow comes in and comes blue. We then come in and then we get changed back to being blue because we're less than 6. And then we become yellow, which we then have a Y as our shape because it gets converted to a Y. So it's a yellow Y. So at this point, our code is yellow Y, blue plus, red hexagon, based on the shapes by putting them in this machine and converting them out. So let's see if this takes us into the right spot from where we are. So if we go up 1, we go right one, and then we go left one, we get that one, which doesn't make a lot of sense and doesn't match our symbols that we got. So I'm going to have a look at the new and a hint. So maybe we got it in the wrong order. Maybe I got the shapes in the wrong order. Maybe it's the right things, but the wrong way round. So let's try putting them. I don't think it's the wrong way round. I think it's just those ones. So let's have a look at some of these codes. So the numbers on the sorting rack, so it is to do with the sides, and it's to do with the things going in there. So I've obviously just followed one wrong that's given me the wrong shape. So let's try doing them again. So I'm going to quickly just run these off camera, and we'll come back and I'll show you my workings after. Okay, after doing my workings, I've come up with that it's actually a red star. I just followed the chart wrong, so this is obviously a red star. So let's try and see where that goes. So maybe that is a bit better than where we were. So we start here, so we go up, we go right, and then we come down, which leads us to this room here, which matches our symbols on here. That's quite clever, that one. So it was a bit different than having a code to work with. We actually had symbols to work with, and we got the symbol code that matched the door. So I'm happy to say that that is day number 6. So it has been the Ever-Traitor's Will. Thank you so much again for watching another day of Advent. I'm really enjoying these puzzles so far. It's a bit challenging here and there. We're getting into tougher puzzles as we're going along. We're a good portion of the way through. I hope you make sure you keep liking and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. And most importantly, guys, I want to make sure you all stay safe or die rolling.